party time.
Always a party.
Yes.
Always a party.
All right. How late are we?
A few minutes.
Few minutes. I'm sorry. Are we live? You want to check if we're live? I think Ben's live.
What?
Yeah. No way. Fuck's sake. I've been seeing that dude's stuff again.
Oh, he makes me laugh.
Yeah,
He's
funny
funny.
guy.
He's
Funny guy. All right. I'm sorry. Sorry we're late. Coffee.
Something gay. Gay.
Is it still up and coming or are we now live?
Are probably alive.
Good morning, goeiemorgen.
Yes. What just happened?
I don't know. Something happening. Is something happening? Is nothing happening? Go on your phone, maybe.
No, I think I'm the stupid one.
All right, it's possible. Our data also sucks, so that's part of it. And Rumble, you gotta try 7 times, otherwise
That's right.
It doesn't work.
That's right.
Who's in? Jim. Good morning, Jim. If we live.
There we go.
Yes. Okay. Looks like things are happening.
Yes.
Yes.
I see us.
Yes. Good morning, Jim.
Exinio.
So, as an extension to yesterday's, small
And
business
Wednesday,
yes, I thought, well, we might as well just continue with the theme.
Well, a lot of our guys that we interact with, they run their own businesses, entrepreneurs.
Correct. So I thought we could extend from that into, you know what? I found Johan's card. I'll go get it on my table so I can actually show that people can go there if they're looking for people, So
people looking for people.
Yes. So I thought what we'll talk about a little bit is just the general requirements to set up a small business, and I mean it's Texas based. What did I do? I bent my nail right over. Wow. It's Texas based, but I think it's similar no matter where you go. You'll have some similar requirements. And I thought, all right, well, when I started the business here, I mean there was a lot of stuff I didn't really know. And maybe it helps someone. It's maybe not everything you need, but it'll be a good amount of what you need. And I wanted to do a kind of list and have a list to go through. But I think we've versed enough to cover 90% of the bases. What's wrong? What's wrong? Mine off.
No, I'm being retarded today.
Oh, what?
Are we allowed to say that anymore? Is retard still a
retard? Is definitely
gay retard. I'm being a gay retard.
Yes, my 2 of my kids have their mom's toes, which is a little retarded. So my son said, me and Esme and I have mom's toes. So I said, yes, it's like a 4-toe foot that's slightly retarded. He's like, Dad, what does that mean? I said, it means that it has a what did I tell him? It's slightly broken,
yes,
but not very much. So yes. He said his older sister had that at one point.
Yes, and hers is gone now.
And hers is gone. So I said, no, it's not something that's a temporary. If you're a retard, it's pretty permanent. Nicole and I were laughing, but they didn't get it quite yet.
No, they didn't get it.
We try and keep him a little more innocent. It's bad because I try and make jokes with him.
And they don't understand.
No, well, I don't teach them to be a nonsense.
No.
So they're not quite getting it yet, but they will. They will. So I think a good point to start would be probably I would highly advise if anybody wants to start a business that the main thing you must get first and foremost is a really good CPA. Why am I hearing Peter Patter? Man, you have to get a really good CPA. And let me have a look.
You want to go grab it?
I want to go grab his card. So we found a guy. Just give me a second. Kids. Yes. I see. Is that bugging you?
So it's still very wet outside after our rain yesterday, so they can't go trekking outside too much. Else, the young man will
My
probably find all of the
microphone is
puddles and
live
swim in them.
because we
That
are
does
on a
happen on a regular
podcast.
basis. It's just our puddles tend to have mud in
But
them, and
nobody
it's
says
an
anything.
utter disaster of a mess. But it's fun, and they're
I'll
kids,
get
and they
Mom to come and
absolutely
get
love
you.
it. So when Anton comes back, he'll show you.
Of course, butt change. But
Oh.
nobody says anything. He just
Oh.
moseys out.
I
And then
think they
Prince
do
says,
that on purpose.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. They're nonsense. So I wonder if they got a. So I think it's McMillanGroveCPA.com. Now I don't want to give John's number because they got a bunch of people. So let me see if I can do this. So these are my accountants. Let me see if I can get this to focus. There we go. All right. I don't know if that.
Good morning, Frogman and Ever Eden.
All right. Let me see. You put it in front of her face. There we go. If I put it in front of your face, it focuses.
I was waiting for that.
There we go. So McMillan and Grove CPA. All right. And so I'll do that. See if I can get
Smell that, young man.
No, I can't get the website, but it's basically that name.
Do you want me to pop it in chat, or
Yeah, you can pop it in chat.
Okay.
So those are my CPAs, and after 5, so I checked with him yesterday. They are taking customers. So I wanted to make sure that they take customers before I put their name out. All right, these guys are phenomenal, fair priced, good guys, know what they're doing. I'm not saying use them. I'm saying this is what I use, and I can highly recommend them. But I went through about 5 accountants before, if not more, before I found these guys.
Rough.
They actually were corporate guys, and he was a customer of mine, and he's like, you know what? We think we're going to open a CPA. And I'm like, okay, good. I'll join you guys next year when I'm done. And then my guy never finished my stuff, so I'm like, hands up. So I was literally their first customer. I was their first customer.
We were there.
I was their first customer. My wife just gets dragged along because I do stuff and we married. We were their first customer.
You're
Gotta be
lame.
nice. So we were their first customers. I think we were one of the first Old Glory Bank customers. So this is the other thing. You've got to find yourself a good bank. So you've got to find yourself a really good CPA. That is fundamental. And you've got to speak to the CPAs and make sure that you set up your business, and they would probably refer you to either they can do it for you. You can maybe do it online. Lawyers are probably the better way to go. But that said, nowadays with AI and the companies that you can actually register, like LLCs and stuff with, it might not be that necessary anymore. But I don't know. I don't want to advise you on that. But the accountants will tell you what to do to set up the business the way the business will work for you, because there are various ways of setting one up. We are LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, and then you get different variations of that. So we are S Corp, which means our profits in the company is set off on our personal profits. So whatever we do on our personal accounting, the profits of the company goes on that, and that's how we get taxed. So there's lots of the American tax code is pretty convoluted, and yeah. So very good idea to get yourself some CPAs that will really look after you. So if you guys are looking for someone, these are very, very good guys I can recommend. If not, and you have good guys, good, because you really need them. So that's the one thing, the fundamental first part. You always got to make sure you got a very good CPA, and someone that's also not going to murder you with charges, because man, that can get expensive. So that's the first thing. All right. Once you got your CPA,
I'll be back.
Okay, and you got your business set up, however you want to do that, and it's registered. You have to register. Like, we got to go to the comptroller, and we have to register the business at the comptroller, and you have to set up the membership percentages of your business. So if you're in a partner and it's 50-50, you got to set it up that way. However you want to do that. And I'm not going to give you advice around how to set up businesses. That's not my forte. I'm just going to tell you what you need. So we have to go to the comptroller, and then if I'm not sure if everywhere, like we in retail, we were in basically food. So you have to get a tax. So because we wholesale purchase, you have to get a tax exemption from paying sales tax. So what happens is, now I'm not sure if this is everywhere, but in Texas, if I buy something, I've got to pay my taxes over my sales tax. So there's a percentage of tax on the products that I purchase, all right, and there's a percentage of tax on the products, certain products that I sell. So to give you an example, candy is taxed, cookies not taxed, okay, and your CPAs will help you with this. This is why it's important that your CPAs help you set up what your taxes are and are not on. Other companies won't do it. Even if you have a tax management system, which we have on our online platform, they won't help you to set up the taxes on the right items. That your CPA will have to help you with. But once you got that set up, so you pay, I think where we are at 6%. So it depends on also where you are, your city, because there's state, city, and state, county, and city taxes, and each one takes a percentage. And what happens is there'll be like, I'll give you an example. They want to build a stadium, and then they say, okay, they're going to put a 0.5% tax on the sales tax, and they're going to collect that 0.5% tax, and they're going to build whatever stupid shit the government wants. They're going to tax, basically crowdsource the money for that via taxation, which I think is wrong, because I don't think, even if more than half of the city vote for stupid shit, I don't think I should be liable for it. That's kind of not how liberty fucking works. But anyway, that's not my rules. This is how they do shit. So and then they normally say, well, we're going to collect the like 0.5%, and then once it's built, but then it's like, oh well, now this thing needs maintenance, so we're just going to keep that 0.5%. We'll just keep it on the sales tax. So your sales tax is made up of different variations. And depending on where you are, like where we are now, our sales tax dropped, I think, 2%, because the city used to take 2%, and now we are not in a city, we are in the unincorporated sales. The sales tax actually went down. So you've got to register. The point I want to make is, so you have to pay over the sales tax. And then what happens is, when you buy stuff, you have to also pay tax on stuff you buy, unless you have a sales tax use permit, whatever. So it's basically a permit that exempts you from paying sales tax on things you purchase for resell. So if you have a restaurant and you purchase stuff to make food with, so if you go and you buy boxes, styrofoam boxes to put, or foil pans or whatever to make the food that you retail, you don't have to pay tax on those things, although they are taxable.
Drinks are an easy one too, like
yes,
sodas.
So you don't pay
Something
tax
basic.
on sodas when you buy them, but you charge tax when you sell them. So then it brings your cost down a little. So you save the 8-9%, because depending on where you buy it. So like Sam's Club, for example, Sam's Club will be taxed, but the tax you pay is based on where the Sam's Club is located. Unless you ship to you, then the taxes should be based on where they deliver.
Yes.
It's very convoluted. It's very much structured to benefit the big guys. Why is chat not moving? That seems weird. Or is it just not moving?
I don't think chat's moving.
Oh, okay. Is it just quiet this morning? That's okay. It's Saturday. I know people probably drank because they celebrated a public holiday yesterday.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, so
D20X, it does not bring costs down. It simply does not skyrocket the cost further.
yes. So you pay less because it's like 8%. I take it as a 10% saving, but you have to go to the comptroller and you have to register for this thing.
Yes.
Okay, and then if you fuck around, they audit you. So you've got to be real careful, not saying that you exclude taxes on things that you're not going to resell. They work on a kind of honor system. So don't mess with it too much. You've got to be a little careful.
And there's a lot of websites that let you use it, and there's pretty much toggles. So, use it here, don't use it here kind of thing.
Yeah, and a lot of, there are, like Amazon. I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
so
that's a great one.
Amazon, you can register your business, and then you can give Amazon your reseller certificate, your tax exemption certificate. And then you can toggle and say, okay, this is for resale, this is not, this is taxed, this is not taxed, etc. Now, Amazon does the tax because sometimes there's no taxes and you don't say anything. So I don't know. Anyway.
It's on each individual item. There's Theirs is hard
So,
because you have to
to
go
give you an
and
example,
work on
a
it.
scone is not taxed. If I bake scones, you come, you buy them, you take them home, not taxed. If I put it on a plate, it's taxed.
Yes.
So
we don't serve here. You're taking it to go.
yes,
You're-
everything's to go.
goodbye.
It's like you
Now
gonna if you want to eat it, you eat it.
Meat pies, hot pies, no matter what they're taxed because they're
Yes.
ready to eat items.
Yes, so ready to eat items taxed.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, the
I
scones.
cannot help that one.
Yes, we have to do it that
Yeah.
way. So
But
so-
the meals like steaks and hot dogs in the freezer, not taxed.
yes,
Because you have to go prepare it.
yes, you have to go prepare them. So good CPA, register your business the way you want it set up with what you tell your CPA, how he advises you, and then however you set your business up, and then your tax, and those are things I wish I knew before, because that makes it much simpler if you get your foundation right to move
Well,
forward.
and it's funny because we did have a CPA from the very beginning. We
Yes.
actually had somebody recommended to us from the oh gosh, what would you call that? It's not a daycare.
No, it was like the co-op school.
Co-op school that we had our oldest two in, and then for us they were horrible, because they didn't.
Well, they were great till 2020.
Was it 20? Okay,
Yeah, so 2019,
Yeah, I guess
awesome.
that's true.
2020, suck.
because everything went crazy,
Yes.
and the amount of excuses of people's behavior.
Well, the thing is, when you're making a lot of money getting people loans from PPP, you're not so interested in, doing the accounting, which is why we hired
Yes.
you. Everybody and all these accountants, well, not all of them. I don't want to say all of them, but all the ones we dealt with was like, take the loans, take the loans, take the loans,
Yes.
take the loans. And if you don't want to take the loans, they don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because they were so busy helping people getting loans, and we never took any.
we
So,
never took it. Yeah,
Yeah, we couldn't sign the.
it was the
just
same with
couldn't do
the
it, man.
city. So
Yeah.
our city also had things, and they're like, everybody needs this, every business, but you have to do it. And we looked at us. Nah.
Yeah, I'm not taking the money.
You
And-
guys should see the type of questions that were on these. It's
Yeah.
so invasive. I don't know why anybody who
Well-
runs a private business is okay with sharing these
No,
details. For
I
me,
agree.
we are very private people. We like our information to stay our information.
Yeah, and I don't want to sign stuff over to someone because I want some money. So,
No.
I can look all my kids in the eye and say, all that bullshit in 2020,
we didn't do it.
that inflation, because, all the tax, all the money that was printed because people were just given money hand over fist, we did not partake in that. So, although you still have to cough for other people's stupidity, we did not contribute. Anyway, we digress. So, good CPA, register the company, do your comptroller tax exemption nonsense, whatever you need to do, and then you kind of ready to get the ball rolling. Because anything, I think you can, up to 6 months prior to registering the business, still take expenses and put it through the business, I think. But it's best to have everything in place. Then you got to have, I think, a good bank.
Oh, business
Is-
banking is
Business
rough.
banking is rough. So a good bank, and I 100%, as I sit here today, recommend Old Glory Bank in Oklahoma. Those guys are fucking phenomenal. They are the only bank that's ever really tried to help us and listen to us. So look them up, in Oklahoma, Old Glory Bank.
Yes.
You could speak to Margie. So the shareholders is Ben Carson is one, Larry Elder is one, and there's John Rich,
Yes.
the country guy, and then
And
there's
then
a
lady who
lady
was a previous governor.
of Oklahoma. It's a phenomenal bank. They're small. They take long to do stuff, but
Carol's the business.
yes,
side.
Carol is the business side. Margie's the bank
And
manager.
it's just one branch in Elmore, Oklahoma.
Yes.
So one branch, but everybody works remotely. They have this figured out. It's
Yes,
really
no,
cool.
it's cool. So Margie is the bank manager. Carol is the business lady, and all of them. You could tell them Anton or Nicole from Biltong USA recommended them and sent, and they will give you guys awesome treatment. And then what's the loan guy now? I don't remember the loan guy's name. Tom Woodmasker. He's a very cool guy.
Yes.
Very cool guy. He has really
If
helped
you could
us.
just
So-
get him on the phone to have a conversation with this guy,
Yes.
he's neat.
and if you tell him Anton, then you're going to have to spend some time because then
Yes.
he's going to be yakking.
Yes. We've really gotten to know
Yeah,
him.
He's
gotten to
a
know
good
us.
guy. So I do
And
recommend.
They've eaten all the meat.
Of course.
We had to thank them for their awesome work.
So, and they will issue bank cards and stuff remotely. The internet bank, from what I've used in the US, the internet bank works pretty well.
Mhm. Their app's easy. Like
Yes.
it's easy.
Yes,
I'm surprised.
we've had bigger banks
Much harder
and
to
smaller, bigger than them, but smaller. But we've had big banks suck. We've had smaller banks, okay-ish. But
Mhm.
the internet app stuff from them, I think, is one of the best
Yeah,
I've used.
because it's very straightforward. It's
Very
very
straightforward.
user-friendly.
There's no funny nonsense.
Yes.
You know, Old Glory Bank, Fragniac also uses them.
Yes.
Yes. So, and I don't know if he picked it up from us, but highly recommend. And you can put Old Glory's thing in
Glory
the
detail.
if you want to put that in.
Okay.
But definitely check them out if that's what you need. And I'm just telling you this because these are hard learned lessons that
took
we've
us
learned. It
years,
took us
yeah.
years to. So I give you years worth of experience in a podcast. In one fell swoop, you have all the information that took me a long time to find. Good morning, Cam.
Yes, good morning.
Um,
Frogman does say in England, banker is cockery rhyming slang, something else. Wanker. Don't spit.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
spit. He does say, my accountant's name is Shylock. He is always going on about getting his pound of flesh.
Pound of flesh. Of
Pound,
course.
sorry, not pound.
Pound of flesh. Yep.
Cannot read.
So good bank, and then you kind of set up. So what you want to do is all the transactions, and I didn't know this because in South Africa it works a little different. So everything, if what you do is you put 10 grand into the business account, and then you work off that. You put it in as a loan from you to the business, and then you buy all your stuff for the business out of your business account with your card that you got from Old Glory, so your accountants can fucking track
everything.
Yes, because what happens is, you jump into this business and you're so excited, so you start just buying shit and you get stuff that, now half of it's on your credit card, half of it's in your personal account, half of it's in your business account, half of it's cash out of your pocket. So now you got to reconcile all that shit. Yes.
Oh,
no, and it's a fuck up. It's really,
is.
it's hard. So the best way, and even if it's cash, you take $500, put it in a cash on hand, petty cash box, and buy stuff out of that, and write yourself receipts out of a book. So if you find something secondhand, which I did a lot, because it costs a lot of money to set some things up. So if you, let's just give you an example. If you are like Salty Grower, if you are in landscaping and you go buy a secondhand trailer from a guy for $500, you give him the 500. If he can't give you a receipt or something, you write one, you let him sign it, you put that receipt in your book.
We actually have a receipt book.
Yes, you run it as a second bank account on your accounting system, and you just run it like a normal bank account, but it's your cash account. Okay, and any cash you receive from people, you put into that account. All right, and you count it as a transaction in and transactions out on that account as a normal like bank account, but you do it a cash account. All right. So you want to keep the business expenses tight in your business, so you can keep account of it. Otherwise, it gets out of hand very fast, because you're going to find when you kick this thing off, the first couple of months, you're probably going to do no accounting. You're just going to run and push the business and buy stuff and set stuff up and clean and fix. And so your accounting is going to get behind. And by the time you rub the crap out of your eyes, you're going to be so far behind on the accounting, and you're not going to remember what receipts what. Believe me, we have done this numerous times.
And pencil notes, if you don't actually put a date or a name as to what it was,
and like a proper description
where you got it, is gone. It's gone. I'm going to get to this weekend.
Yes, and that's like a month later.
Yeah, okay, sure you will.
So just set up your stuff and just use, even if you don't do the accounting, just make sure the transactions go through. And if you do cash accounts, make notes, and that'll really help you just kick off the thing right and just keep that discipline. We don't. That's why I'm telling you to do it, because we have a lot of issues. It's like, what was this? I don't remember. So anyway, so
we've gotten better. I'm not going to lie though. The doing that yourself while managing business, it's a hard juggling act.
Yes, we've gotten much better at it, but it is a hard act.
He threw a wrench on me this year. He said, okay, you're comfortable with your accounting. Okay, we're going to do a little bit differently this year. I'm not caught up, so I'm going to have to work on it.
So that's the kind of basic, just getting the business side set up, like the accounting kind of side, which is important. Then, you once you got that set up, in today's kind of world, you need to have your social media, if that's the right direction you're going to go. you need to have social media set up, so Facebook, Instagram,
which is why I'm
X.
rude every time we start the stream. Is I have to put it out. I
Yes,
don't want to,
yes.
but I know.
So
I know.
however you want to manage your social media now,
Yes.
there's a lot of companies that manage it for you and stuff like that. I
But
think
that's more money.
well, 90% of it's going to be a waste of money because you're never going to be. Everybody thinks they're going to be an influencer, and
Yes.
I know a shit ton of very, very big influencers, and I'm not an influencer. I am not near as big as some of these guys because it's just not how it works.
No.
Like you have to go work at it, and some guys. I had a friend that was a very clever, just used to drink like a fish, and shit just worked for this guy. He just made hand over fist money, and everything just seemed to come easy. Well, he died at 50 of pancreatic cancer because he used to drink 3 bottles of brandy a day. Yes. So he had a great life and died young.
And he was okay with that. He was prepared for it.
He was prepared for it. He knew what was coming. But it's like some people, things just kind of work, and some people it doesn't. And nothing wrong with that. Everybody is different levels. We all, the earth has to be populated everywhere. We can't just all live in one little spot. That would be very fucking boring.
No, no, not just that. We'd be on top of each other. I'm not okay with that. So, good morning. I know you're working and busy, but everybody does say good morning to you.
Good morning.
You are working while working.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Don't worry about the social media companies. You can always hire these people later, but generally you have to sign a contract when you hire them, and then you can't get rid of the fuckers for like a year. So don't do that. Set up your social media. Go do some research on how you want to do it. A lot of it, you have to have personal accounts like Rumble. You have to have a personal account and decide if you want to do videos or not. It's not necessary. Sometimes it's a good thing to help your customers understand, but it's not a necessity. So you decide how you want to do that, and then you got to kind of generate a little bit of content. Maybe once or twice a week, you got to do a little something.
Consistency.
Yes, consistency beats volume.
Yes. So the biggest thing for us, which we really strive to do, is at least once a day. So that is goal. That is minimum goal, and we don't have I don't have the mind capacity to reschedule things and plan them out and this. If I've got
half
stuff,
the time it's just like stuff happens. It's like, hey, look at that. Why don't you take a quick picture of this
on real time? Because if we don't do it real time, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And yes, we could probably schedule, but now the apps are broken again. Now they're not connected. So if I schedule, I have to remember on the other app anyway.
Yeah. So consistently every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, your thing goes out. That's probably beats volume, like having 10 things go out in one day and nothing for a month.
For 2 months.
Yeah. So your social media, you got to set that up. And then why I'm not talking about phones and data and things like that yet is because a lot of that depends on where you set up.
Yes.
So if you're going to have a premises, you got to go look for a suitable premises that is within the budget of a business like yours. And what I mean what I mean with that is, you cannot have a retail store and pay $40 a square foot. A retail, like grocery retail, has a very low margin. So your cost per square footage works into your groceries. So you cannot have a very expensive, like a CPA firm, for example, can probably have a much higher square footage price for where they are located versus a grocery store, because you need a lot of space and it has to be cheap for a grocery store, because your margins in your products will be too high if you don't do it right.
More space, less cost is what you're after.
Correct. Same with the restaurant. If you're going to have a quote unquote low cost fast food type setup, it would be better to have a cheaper place, a little bit out of the way somewhere, than a higher class restaurant, because your plate, your cost per plate plays a role, and you can't outprice from your competition because you're in a very nice space that's expensive. And that's why a lot of places fail is, your rent is probably your biggest expense other than staffing. Would be your rent a consistent expense that you have, and then so make sure you find a spot that works with what you want to do and is affordable long term based on your pricing. All right, so that's very important. And then once you've got your premises, okay, you can set up your Google Maps.
Yes.
Because you cannot do Google Maps location before you have a location for your
You
business.
can do it at your home. I see a lot of people do that. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do it at my home because maybe
No.
something happens and then
Everything's
some guy comes to your
searchable.
house.
Don't
Yeah.
do it. Don't do it. Don't do
So
it
once
unless you
you've
gotta-
got your premises
Yes.
set down, then you can do your Google Maps and put yourself on Google Maps. And then once you've done that, you can also then get your data and your phone, because depending on where your location is will depend on who your data provider is.
Mhm.
Okay, and like Starlink would not be possible where we were in Roanoke, because how are you going to get the dish out? And you can't put something on the sidewalk. You can't just stick something out the front door.
No.
You know, and I mean, the landlord might not like it a lot if you go put a dish on the roof and people walk around there. There's other businesses, so AC guys are up and down. Someone's going to like kick. So like for that, I would not recommend like Starlink, for example, where we are here, rural, and we own it.
Mhm.
Starlink would be perfect here. So
Yes.
so the data, and that's just an example. So you've got to find out who in your area has good data that's suitable to you and affordable. So we had shitty data at like 120 a month, and we had very good data from another provider at like $60 a month. Both, actually, the $60 a month was better and faster.
Yes. Yes.
So you got to check and make sure and do some research and find your data provider.
Yeah.
And make sure you get phones. I would just say just get a cell phone. It's like, I think it's probably
versus a landline. Yes.
Versus a landline. Just get a cell phone. Just don't mess around. Get a cell phone.
Because then you can text your customers, because they're all going to text you anyways.
Well, if you get a half decent, we got a shitty phone for our landline, but if you get a half decent phone, you can run your business email. Okay, because you're going to have to get email, and depending on the social media you got,
you
you're
can
probably
run it on there.
Yes, you run it on the phone, and then depending on the social media you get, you're probably going to have some kind of messenger which people are going to use, and then Google also has a messenger which is very fucking annoying. I actually disconnected.
I was going to say, I haven't seen anything.
No,
you disconnected it?
No, because people like randomly message you on Google and you don't expect it, and if you don't have it set up, it just comes in as an email, and then you got to go find this thing, and it's a no.
That's why I haven't seen it.
No, I'm like, no, fuck that. So you can do your business email, texts. You can send people texts and receive texts on a cell phone.
I think that is the most common, because so many people do not answer their phones nowadays anyways unless they receive a text message first.
Yes, and it might be depending on the volume you expect. Get 2 numbers, because one you can phone from while the other one's open for incoming, and then leave your incoming number. Don't phone from it. You just leave it to receive calls, and then you can have a second one that you basically don't publicize the number, but you phone out from it. All right, so something like that. I almost think the phone companies now can actually have a clone, so you can have a number you can dial from, but it doesn't impede the one coming in. I don't know. You can find out for yourself.
Well, the cell phones already, call waiting's not a problem. So
yes,
the landline's
but the problem is if you do the call waiting thing and you're talking to someone and you're in the middle of a discussion, you got to say, hold on, I've got another call coming in. It's a little, I don't like that. So I would rather have 2 lines. I've always had 2 lines, one for outgoing calls and one for receiving calls. So you don't phone from the phone that you get your calls into. So that, cover the internet. Get yourself a semi-decent computer, because you're going to have to use the computer for your accounting and stuff like that. I prefer a laptop. It doesn't have to be exuberant. I mean, like $500-$600, $700, $800, because nowadays it's like
now.
$800, you know.
Still a little confusing to see.
But you don't need a $2,000 or $3,000 laptop. Do not play fucking games on your work.
Yes,
computer.
It is not a work, or it's not a gamer.
Yes, don't buy a gaming computer so you can play games and do it. No, just have a laptop for your work, and that's all it does. And you can connect your email. You probably going to need Office, because you need Excel and Word and stuff like that. So Office 360 online, you're probably going to have to get that. I mean, there's some free software you can use, I think from Google, like Google Docs or something, but then all your shit ends up in the cloud. So you got to decide. I know there's some other like free Office stuff. We might actually look into it at some point.
And it's hard to share if it's not the actual Office, which is a problem, because if you need to share it, say with your accountant, and they can't get it because it's not.
Well, the problem is, you got to make sure that whatever you use is also usable by, everybody else. And then there's a whole bunch of accounting software out there. And I'm not going to go into that one. What I would suggest is your accountant and you decide what you use. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's fair. Yeah. Progman does say carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon, yes.
That's the correct means of communication.
Yes.
You got it. Jamal, that's me. I get too many spam calls. Whenever I give out my number, I put a note behind it to text first.
Yes.
I've heard that from so many customers. It's a very common thing, and I get frustrated sometimes because shipping world is so convoluted. If there's one thing wrong on the address and UPS dings it, I always reach out to the person, because worst case, or what would happen if I didn't, is it would not get delivered and I would be responsible for that. I don't like that. So I always reach out. The amount of people I tell Anton, it's like, they don't answer their emails because they probably didn't see it, and then they don't answer their phone calls. So the way I get a hold of my customers for that situation is text messages.
Yes.
Almost every single time.
Yeah, text messages is probably the highest success rate.
It is.
Yeah,
for sure.
So if you deal with your customers, when you start your business, text is an effective way.
Yeah.
Most people respond to text.
They do.
Right.
Unless it's an Apple versus Android problem.
Yes, which, is stupid, but anyway. And then, so we got the data, we got the computer, all right? And so now you got your premises, you got your Google, you got your data, you got your phone numbers, you got your accountant. So you kind of ready to rumble. There's something I'm forgetting.
Coffee.
Yes, always good coffee.
I have to fill mine, which is why I say that. Coffee, you need coffee.
And then, so depending on what your business is going to depend, of course, from here, what your requirements are. So, if you have a retail shop, you're probably going to need shelving and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into the sourcing and things like that. All right. And I already spoke about what your city requirements are in the previous podcast. So there's a whole bunch of local city requirements. You're going to have to do floor plans and stuff like that and build your business out. So I think we covered most of that in the previous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I don't want to repeat what we did in the previous one, because when I repeat myself, I get told.
I was waiting for that.
I get told that I'm getting old and I'm, in my day. In every podcast, yes. So, you find that very funny.
Why are you nonsense?
With my cane. So.
Yes, put your tears in your coffee.
Yes. So anyway, so that I think is the basics. Is you gotta do the accountant, you gotta do the bank accounts, you gotta do the premises, you gotta do, and then something else that I don't know, it's apparently a thing, and you're probably going to find in your lease, is insurance. You have to get business insurance.
If you're leasing somewhere.
If you're leasing, you have to have business insurance.
Just like if you buy a car and you are paying it off, you have to have
so you have to have business insurance that covers the landlord.
Or home, I guess. Everything.
And so it's like a liability insurance, all right? And then if you have anything on a loan or a lease, you're going to have insurance on your purchased item. So if you buy a coffee machine and it's $2,000 and you're paying it off, you buy it on a loan, they're going to require you to have insurance. So you have to have now insurance on all your shit in your place. That's a debate that you can have with yourself.
With your insurance agents. I mean, I would get an independent guy who does the searching for you.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, as a general principle, like for example, we had insurance, and then our landlords, because of the city forcing them, they put in sprinklers.
Mm-hmm.
If the sprinkler system goes off, we are not covered. Like, all water damage is not covered by insurance company that's caused by the sprinkler system. So I don't know what the point is if there's going to be a fire and the sprinklers go off.
It was covered with fire.
Yes, it was covered with fire, but not water damage. So any equipment, so the way these guys should be doing it is, when you put your equipment in, they should not put sprayers where there's electricity, because that would cause worse fires. But they don't do that because, that would make sense. And the other problem you got is
rented space. It's multi-use.
It's rented space, it's multi-use. But the other problem you got is, as a small business, and we discussed this in the previous podcast, is you're probably going to move shit around.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to have sprinklers where you have no equipment, and then you're going to move equipment, and then you have sprinklers.
Didn't they tell us they could turn off or block any of them as needed? But we never got information for the company. Like, that was such a stupid statement. Nobody offered to do that.
But you also got to decide, like, what the premium is you are going to pay for your insurance versus, the damage you're going to have if something happens practically.
Damage incurred, yeah.
And decide for yourself if that's a thing you want to do. I don't always know if you've got a loan from a business loan, they're probably going to require it.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay cash for everything, it's your decision. You probably don't require it.
And if you guys need somebody who does loans for equipment, just reach out to us. We have a phenomenal company.
Yes,
that we've worked with.
it's a lease base.
Yes.
So and the interest rate's lower than your short term, like fucking stupid.
And it's isolated to that item, so it's
Yes.
very specific, but really cool company.
Yes,
actually,
they really helped us
Yeah.
out. They're not the cheapest, but
No.
they get stuff done in like you could today want something.
Same day.
I have had same day check issues
Yes.
from these guys. You will get it within a couple of days. You will actually have an
Yeah.
approval and have it out. First time you deal with them might take a couple of days,
Yeah.
but once they've approved you first
And they
time
know
and you
you.
have a record, I phone them in the morning. The check is out the afternoon
Yeah.
type thing. I had a
We've
fridge
had-
break and I had
I
to
was
get a
gonna
fridge.
say we had power spikes.
Yeah, so
through-
I have a guy that I know that, like, if I phone him now and I say, man, I got big trouble, I got a big fridge that broke, can you help me? He can literally probably tell me, yeah, I've got this and this and this in stock. I can bring this to you now.
Mhm.
And I can get him to these other guys. Send me an invoice, phone him, listen, I've got a problem, this thing broke, I'm going to have damage. Can you get at least a letter to these guys saying that I'm approved and that they can bring the fridge and you'll issue the check on Monday? And I promise you it'll happen.
Yes,
You know,
we
so,
did do that.
Yes, no, exactly. We had a
We
fridge
had
break.
to.
That's why I know. And I had the next day, I had a fridge delivered. I had the check out the same day. Approval
Granted,
done.
that guy that helped us out, we actually gave him something to see if he could refurbish it and sell it.
Yes, yes, yes,
Good guy. Good. It's good to have connections like that. If you find people like that, hold on to them
yes,
because you'll lose them quicker than you get. 'em.
yes, yes. So,
Jamal does say, I can't even sell rhubarb to my local grocery store if I don't carry insurance.
correct.
I don't produce enough to cover the cost of a policy.
That's the problem is volumes and
Mhm.
everything has to make sense. So you gotta and I mean I'm talking about you've already done the business plan. Okay, so you decide yes you're going to do the business.
Yeah.
These are the requirements you have after you've decided to
Yeah.
do the business. But you're 100% right. A lot of times it doesn't. So the grocery store is going to want you to be registered in some way, shape, or form, but that's not a requirement everywhere.
Mhm.
Like some people will do what do they call it when you make stuff from home, cottage. They will.
But
they
they're
will.
still registering on the cottage.
Yes, but they will allow you to sell to them as a cottage industry person.
Hmm.
All right,
With
but
notices. And
yes,
things.
but you have to be insured
Hmm.
because if there is a lawsuit, it has to be covered by you,
Hmm.
and the insurance cost might not be worth the profit.
Yeah.
In short.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about the business setup, it's basically post having a business case.
Mhm.
So you already decided you're going to do it. This is the things you should have in place. So insurance is the one thing, and that's life insurance. You got to, like, personal stuff. You got to decide what you need. If you're going to have a loan, a bank's probably going to require it. But I'm just talking business insurance.
Yes.
So that, and then I said computer. You should have an office. I don't really have an office. I always sit somewhere in the middle of stuff, which is not a good idea.
Yes, but
Because-
both of us are horrible with that. My office is pretty much turned into my shipping station. Ta-da!
Yes, and my office
Because
is in the middle of the
I'm
shop because
always
that's
needing
where I
the
set it
space,
up
yeah.
at the time
And
I
it
needed it, and it's
stayed.
still. So I'm gonna probably get rid of it today. Hopefully, maybe I don't know. We'll
I
see.
don't think he's going to manage to do what he thinks he's going to do to be out of the building. I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, yes.
I'll stick you over here by me.
And then if you're gonna deal with customers, make sure you can deal with customers.
Yes.
It's no point you being a recluse and you're opening a retail business.
We've joked about he needs to stay in the manufacturing side and let me take care
the
of
problem
customers.
is, so I watched my son this morning, and I think it's a guy thing.
It's definitely a guy thing.
So I was playing with him. So my kids obviously don't get coffee. So he had his cup and he had some water in it. So I poured my coffee, I poured Nicole's coffee, and I had the jug over his cup. Literally here. He was sitting over here and he was eating his eggs and he was trying to get the eggs cut. So I held this probably for 2-3 minutes, just like that, like pretending I'm going to serve him coffee.
He didn't even notice.
And he didn't notice, and he looked up twice. And he was like looking that way, and he was looking this way, and he didn't notice because he's so focused on his eggs.
One thing at a time.
Yes, and I said,
You're
you
good. You
don't-
got it. You got a
Yeah.
moment of what I deal with.
Yes, and I said, you're not seeing anything, are you? And he looked up, and he just like looked at me with this like blank stare, like why are you being silly, I like, haha, and I put the coffee down because I was just joking with him. And I thought to myself, I get like I'm busy with a point of sale, and that's something I want to mention. I'm busy with a different point of sale thing that I'm messing around with, and I get so focused on that, and then when a customer interrupts me, I get annoyed because I'm like, I want to do this, and this is what I have to focus on, but now I've got to step back and I've got to go help a customer, which means when I come back, I probably lose if I spend 40-50 minutes on this thing, I'm losing 20 minutes of that I got to like refamiliarize myself with where I was so I can continue. So, I am probably not the best guy for customers anymore because my brain is involved with so many other things.
The old guy.
Yes. I'm the old grumpy guy, I'm nice if you talk to me.
Lawn.
Yes, get off my lawn. But I remember there was a guy in South Africa, and he was older than me at the time, but he was very good at welding.
Mm-hmm.
And people used to take him welding stuff, and he was so rude. And I remember going to him with someone else, and I just thought to myself, how does this guy make money? He's so rude to customers, and it's just his work was that good.
Uh-huh.
But like if you get him like he's busy welding, and you walk into his shop, and it wasn't a big shop, but you walk in, and you're like, morning, and he would stop, and he would just give you the stare, like, why are you here? And you're like, no, I brought this like pipe for you to weld, and he's like, yeah, just throw it on the heap over there. And it's like, how are you gonna know it's my pipe? Because it's like, okay, how long? I want to, like, can I get a time? And he's like, today. It's like, okay. How much does it cost? And it's like, he'll just give you these like really rude, stupid answers, and you can't get any, and eventually you just leave. But the job was always done perfect. Like, it was always right. It was always, but he was so rude. And I was like, well, he obviously makes money because he's that good at what he does, but he's so rude to customers. Now I know why.
Cam feels personally attacked right now.
Because he's welding, and you like interrupt him, and it's like, well, it's not my fault. You don't have a 2IC, and he's like, yeah, I can't work with people, so fucking put it on the heap there. I'll get to it. It was interesting, but I somehow understand that guy better today.
Yes. Sorry, I did miss a comment from Jim. So about his rhubarb, there's a local farmer's market that buys from me. He bought 50 pounds this year. It almost cleared the patch.
Yes.
So that's maybe the way to go.
No,
and
that's the way to
market.
Go.
That's okay.
I find there are people, especially on the quote-unquote crunchy side, which we've also discussed, that will rather buy from a farmer's market than a store. Even
if the store has the equivalency of the farmer's market.
Yeah,
which
even
is
if the store has the same product, they'll buy it from the farmer's market.
That always got us.
So, there's
a market there. That's why I said he feels personally attacked. It's about this welder and the grumpiness.
Yes. No, it's,
Cam, are you a welder?
So someone said something the one time, and they said the more efficient you are at what you do, the harder it is for you to get fired. So if you are the only guy that knows how to fix, start, or do something with a specific machine that is required for that business, you can pretty much do what you want. Even HR has no power over you because they will not fire you. And that's a fact.
Jamal says there's an episode of Seinfeld called The Soup Nazi. He's so rude to customers, but the soup is so good, they line up down the street.
Yes, exactly.
That sounds about right. And biggest thing, unfortunately, HR can't fire him because, he's the one who makes the meat.
Yes. So.
And I actually like him. I'm the only person that does.
Yeah, apparently. So, and then lastly, and this is also a sensitive subject, is point of sale. So, website, point of sale, those are two things. Today's world, you have to get a website. I would highly recommend you go have a look at what is available in terms of names. Less is more when it comes to names with websites. Less is always more. Is it that time?
It is. I'll do it. You talk.
Right. So less is more when it comes to websites. So if I give you an example, Jim, for you, see if you can do like jimaw.com. gmail.com. Jim Barb for rhubarb. So jimbarb.com. Like, you don't want to do Jim's
Don't be a drag queen. Don't do that one.
Well, Jim's rhubarb jam.com, because people can't fucking spell. So whenever you give them a long website, they inevitably make mistakes. You want it as short as possible. If you can do rj.com, that's even better. So Jim's rhubarb jam.com. If the shorter you can make the name, the better. The more catchy the name, the better. The less you need to spell on it, the better. So less is more when it comes to URLs. Okay. Anybody needs a hand, I can help you register them. I have all the stuff. This is what I used to do in my previous life. I can help you register. I can help you set up and all of that type of thing. I don't really know if I want to get involved in websites, but I can help you, like train you at least to create stuff and get a web. I can even help you get a website going. I haven't built websites really, but it's not that hard, and I can figure a few things out. So you wanna get a website, you wanna get it up. Do not use Wix, please. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Do not use Wix, okay? Because you're gonna get stuck in that fucking rut, and it's very hard to move. Uh, uh, Shopify is your choice. It's very expensive. I'm WordPress. It works fine. It does what it needs to do. It's easy to host. It shouldn't be too expensive. Stuff like that. So what is that? Rhubarby. There we go. .com. You see. That's Progman. That's good. You might want to look if that's available. Like, rhubarby is not a bad name, and you might want to brand that and like trademark it and stuff like that. Rhubarby. That's not bad.
That's funny. I like it.
Yeah. So, you need to set up a website, even if it's just a contact page, and then get that set up. And then if you're going to be in some kind of retail, you need point of sale processing. Now, I got a guy that does my processing. He's very good. If anybody needs someone for processing, reach out to me. I can help you with that. But I will say, we have probably the two things we have paid the most school fees in, and school fees is money you waste, but at least you learn from it, is fucking insurance and processing. Man, those things are so convoluted. So, and processing is not necessarily part of your point of sale. Okay, you can have separate processing, and you will have separate processing on your website. Now, processing that is easy to set up is PayPal and Stripe, and they are very, very, very expensive. Okay, but they're easy to set up. Processing that's not easy to set up is your own processing, and we have a guy that does our processing for us. Not bad in price. It's real good deals. He makes us good deals. So if you guys have websites, if you're looking for processing, I can help you out with a guy we know, and I can help you set up the processing on your website. That's not an issue. I will help anybody I can. Much better fees and stuff like that. So you've got to keep that in mind. Processing is a big thing. And then your point of sale. Do not fall for it's only $70 a month for the equipment over 10 years. You got to pay it off. And then you buy this very expensive. Like, try and keep your point of sale, because you can always upgrade, but once you've got all these expenses, you have to pay them. So you don't want to do these things short term in the beginning. All right. So point of sale, there's hundreds of them out there. Go have a look and see what fits what you do.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
So if you are up on your accounting, you will see all of the hidden fees. That was the problem that we ran into, is there were gaps. We were not able to stay up on accounting. So those insurances, if you swap and you have an independent agent, they have to cancel a previous insurance before putting on a new one, or as they put on the new one. Because if not, guess what? You have two policies. And don't even think about getting the money back on either of the policies. You're screwed. We may have experienced that before, and that was not very nice. So rhubarby.com. I love it, Progman. I heard that one. So Cam says, no, I'm just the best at what I do with a 200-mile radius. So people will call me to do one small thing, and I'll charge them $300, or the other guy will charge him that much for the whole job. It matters though. If you're good at what you do, that is, once again, the concept of the master. So, quote unquote, the master plumber, master electrician, you're able to charge for that because it's your time and experience. It's not just the job itself. So do not feel shy in your charging. sounds like you are worth every penny of it. So Jim, you said you picked 5 pounds this morning. I'll be juicing it this afternoon. Awesome. So I was thinking about it, Jim. Maybe we get together and we can send you a label when you are ready to send to us. I can shoot you a label for the shipping. I would be happy to pay for the shipping on that because I can't wait to try it. I was just offering to Jim, I shoot him a label for shipping to get us some.
Yes.
Because we've got a program we use, discounted rates, all of that stuff. So
yes, so you don't have to worry about it. You just pop the product and we'll send it. We'll send you the label. So with a credit card thing, so with your processing comes this little thing nobody talks about called PCI.
Oh, if you guys do not know PCI and you own your own business, listen.
All right, so you have to do PCI compliance on an annual basis.
Yes.
To make sure that your business is PCI compliant. Some companies charge you $200 a month for PCI.
Yep.
Okay, the norm is around $85.
Yep.
If you are compliant, and they don't tell you to do this because the fuckers make money out of it, all right? No, they make money out of it. So they get money if they don't inform you. So they don't inform you and they want you to just figure it out by yourself. Anyway, so if you are PCI compliant, it should be around $15 a month. Okay, so you can save a ton of money with PCI compliance, and it's a little form or something you got to fill in. Every company is a little different. Some of them make it really complicated because
like checking your network.
Yes, no, they want to check your network and all kinds of stupid
private
shit.
Network.
Yes, because they want to charge you $85. They don't want to charge you, just the 15 because they make money out of it.
Yep.
And every time you move processes, remember to check that it is canceled because
so
they
cancel. PCI compliance goes to the actual processor, so not whom you signed up with for the transactions, but the physical processor name, which is somebody that they normally contract to.
Yes.
It's 2 different people.
Yes.
You cannot cancel the one without the other. You have to cancel both, and you have to ask.
Check.
It's a merchant processor. I think is what it's called. It's a cancellation form.
All right. So you've got to make sure that you do your PCI, which is something I didn't know like ever. We just figured it out the last couple of years. All right. So that is very important. And point of sale, make sure you don't buy expensive stuff, and make sure you buy something that's scalable.
Yes.
Okay, because a lot of people buy this little clover thing and it can't fucking scale.
And that's expensive.
Very expensive.
Do not go that route.
You can
Square,
go with
same concept.
Yes, but you can go with a company that has their own processing. Okay, so you don't have to worry about getting an external processor. I don't like doing that because I like to have options. You can go with a company that supplies you with their, their point of sale. Sorry. And it is connected to their processing only. You cannot get other processing. Just make sure the deal's good.
Yes.
Make sure your processing fees are low, and make sure that this whatever equipment you are getting is scalable. So when you expand, because inevitably something happens because you have this idea and then shit changes, that your point of sale can scale with your business.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to spend money and spend money again, which we've done. We've done these things, so I can tell you.
School fees.
Yeah.
Hidings.
Yeah. No, I've bent for fucking hidings more than necessary. Learned a lot of shit. So so those I think are the kind of basics. I don't know if I missed anything. If anybody has an idea of anything that I kind of missed or something that should be added to the list. But I just thought it would be a good idea just to kind of talk through things like that.
These are a lot of things we didn't know. A lot of things we didn't know to look for.
Yes.
And actually, it was our friends who run the processing company who told us about the PCI. We didn't know about that prior. It was when they got involved and said, "Hey, let me help you."
Yes.
They said, "Oh, do you know about this?"
No. Yes. No, nobody tells you because they want fucking.
Yeah.
They
to
want
have an honest
shillings.
person in that field really helps. Really helps.
And then maybe tomorrow, what we can discuss is the actual setup of your premises.
Okay.
Just
so are we
as
making
a general,
this like a mini series?
I don't know. I mean, seeing that we're talking shit, we might as well talk. Now people use Square. Square sucks.
No.
Square sucks.
I said that. tablets are fine because you can get apps for pretty much anything and make
Square
it
is
work.
very expensive.
Yes, but
You know?
tablets, you can use tablets for your POS.
Yeah,
We have
we've
ours on
got
tablets.
we've got Square payments on our website. They don't
Yes.
say Square, they say
Stripe. Is that
or
Stripe?
Stripe. Sorry, we've got Stripe, Square, all these things, but it's very expensive. And you know, if you a little controversial, they like to block your payments.
There's a lot of companies that do that. The big banks, if you're at a big bank, I highly encourage you to reconsider that and go to Old Glory Bank for that exact
Yeah, we were
reason.
literally, our website was taken down, our payments were blocked.
That was on GoDaddy.
Yes, GoDaddy blocked our
Specifically
website.
blocked
And
our website.
then when I phone them, they're like, we don't know.
we don't
Nothing's
know.
wrong. Yeah.
Everything's live. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just you if you're a little controversial or at least outspoken, this is not 2020 was not the last time it happened, and it's I guess it's probably the first real
Well, 2016 is really when that started. Like,
Yes.
obviously started.
Yes.
Like, it was apparent that, okay, you cannot say what people don't want you to say.
yes.
Else
So
you'll be taken
it's
down.
like you can't just have your channel on YouTube and hope that they don't fucking
Yeah.
delete you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with your payments. You guys have heard, we physically experienced
Yes.
getting blocked, losing payments and losing stuff. So
Online and in store
Yeah.
processing.
So-
We've had both.
so I prefer
situations.
independent
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Independent everything.
And if
But-
you guys need help with any of that, please
Yeah.
reach out. Shoot
and-
us an
so
email. It can
don't
be
get me wrong,
private.
Square works.
Yes.
Square works.
Yeah, all of them work.
It's just expensive.
You're going to pay.
And if you do anything, it's like Salty Grower will know, like if you're into the cannabis stuff, there's actually restrictions. Like some of these guys
Mhm.
will not deal with you. Like
Yes.
our processing guy, the guy that we use, said, if you get involved with the cannabis stuff, I have special processing that I get
Oh,
for
I
you.
didn't know
Yes,
his-
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't
the
think it's a
normal
worry
stuff.
for us.
No,
but
it's not for us. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, people that are in that industry.
interesting. Which he would tell you that because
Well-
he knows. Yeah.
Here's a less controversial one. Ammo. Selling ammo and
Selling
weapons and
ammo
stuff.
is a difficult one. That's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah, selling any kind of ammunition, and because MasterCard and Visa are causing issues for people just buying it. Because they don't want, because it's hard to control people, who are armed and don't have to listen to you because you can't force them.
Yes.
If you don't have the power of force on someone, it's hard to tell them
Well,
to do
how
shit.
do you get, yeah, that doesn't work. You have to be able to force them to do whatever you want. Can you read Progman's note there?
Controversial as in believing that there are only two genders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Controversial as in that. Controversial as in I don't want my kids to see a man dressed as a woman, spreading. I don't think that my kids need to see that.
Interesting.
And that's very controversial apparently nowadays, because if you don't go to the rainbow parades and some pedo doesn't shake his junk at your children, you are a bigot. What's up, young man? Come here.
It's Bana time.
Banana time. Come here. Come give me a hug first. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi.
Wave. You wave and say hi.
Say hi. Say wave. Hi. Okay. Banana time. Banana time, mom. Yes, you want to make sure that you try and
Here, I've got one.
make your systems as
Krista.
I guess bulletproof, like cancel proof as possible. So if you have, we literally hosted our stuff out of the country for a long time, but the speed is a problem. So far the guys we hosted with, and they don't pay me, so I'm not mentioning them.
Nope.
They're a bigger company, but not as big as the others. No, so the less phone online support you have, the more you got to know what you're doing.
Mhm.
The guys we got, they don't do much support, but prices are reasonable, and we haven't had shit with them.
But
so.
they're a private, bigger company.
Yes, they're
That's the other
private,
thing.
you know,
The
if it's
public
public,
versus private,
yeah,
because
it's-
public can be not always bought and paid for.
Yes,
So you really have to keep in mind maybe what the structure of the company that you want to work with
that you're
is.
dealing with is,
Yeah.
yeah. But so again, don't get me wrong. Square is fine. Square works. So does all kinds of other things. I just don't like them because they're very expensive.
Yes.
and they will limit you on certain things that they will not allow you to pay, or they'll reverse it.
Yeah.
So we have Stripe payments, PayPal payments, and then we've got our own personal processor. Our point of sale is basically private. Our
POS system.
Yeah, our POS system is private.
Sorry, the processor.
Our processor is private. So we try and do all the stuff outside of the norm.
And they're all separate.
Yeah, all separate. So it causes other complications. But you know what? If one thing goes down, I'm not locked out.
Yes.
So that's the main thing, because if you've got so you can do probably everything through Square, and if they block you, it's done. Yes. If anything goes wrong, it's done. You're over. It's over. They just shut your business down. So if
our in-store POS system were to go down today, and I had customers walk in, I've got an online portal. I can run transactions through, no issue whatsoever. Yes. So I could still function. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
The online is the one that we really want to keep going. So that's the one we baby more than anything. So there's a couple interesting comments about who may have issues. Jamal says, guns and ammo dealers have trouble finding banking. Yes, they do.
Yes. Old Glory Bank.
Old Glory Bank. And
they will bank you, man.
They will not use Zelle, because Zelle takes your personal data and information. They will not do certain things, because that is going to expose you as a private individual, which they are not willing to do. It's same like us. We take customer detail. We do not sell it. We do not give it away. I've had people get so upset at us for sending an email. It's like, how do you want us to market as a company if I can't send emails to my own customers? It's like, I'm not selling your information. You are my customer. You bought from me, which is why we send you an email.
Yes, and then the same guy 2 months later will complain because he doesn't know when we're doing something. And it's like, dude, but you unsubscribed. Yeah, like I
It's very frustrating.
I can resubscribe you if you want.
And then I have openly said is that you have to be a part of that to get certain things. Progman does say being white is a crime these days. No, it is being a white man, because you can be a white woman liberal and
yes,
fucking hell. Sorry. That drives me insane. Jamal, white privilege is the ability to suffer whatever life throws at you without blaming another ethnic group. So I did some grokking yesterday, because yesterday was an interesting day. And I just inquired about the Irish history in the United States. And apparently there is an entire Heritage Month for Irish that I've never heard about in my entirety of my, existence, but apparently there is one. Okay. So part of what Grok said is how the people chose to live their life is why things are not as prominent. So I asked Grok if it's based upon assimilation, and yeah, so assimilation matters. So you want to bring people who will assimilate to your civil or your current society to help the society. That seems to be the way to grow, not people who will not assimilate.
The diversity months are basically a
lack of assimilation.
Yeah, it's a reward for those who lack who do not assimilate.
So Irish have assimilated. Interesting. With the hardships that were faced in the 1800s, they did assimilate, which is why things are not as prominent. Interesting little tidbits to take away. So I learned a lot. Progman, I am far right, which means I am right by far.
I like that.
Sign of Jonah, 9 genders on the planet. Sorry, cannot see that. Sorry to tell the human male, human female. That's too much. I'm not gonna read all of those. Stop it. Tripods. Who knew the tripods in War of the Worlds would end up? Stop it. You see that? Yes. You see that?
Chinese instead of Martians. That's funny.
Oh, you guys make me laugh. We are not going to make it political, but things happen. Life, the universe, and everything else. The answer is 42. Just what is the question?
Yes. Exactly. Yes. The answer is always 42.
Always 42.
So
World Cup invasion.
Well, I tell you something. It seems like a lot of people are getting red pilled on the US coming here.
Because it's not what they are told it is. That's the thing, is the propaganda outside of the United States is so heavy, and we are horrible, Orange Man bad, everything. Everybody is, dying. There's school shootings.
Everybody gets shot. Everybody's running around with guns.
Right-wing gun extremists. What are they called? Right-wing.
What, the nationalists?
No. Sorry. How they rank crime. What is that called? Because a certain group is considered right wing, although they are not right wing. What
Oh
is?
yeah, that's the SPLC.
Yes. What is that called? What is that statistic? It's just crime.
Crime
Is it just
statistic,
crime
yeah.
statistics? Okay. The right wing crime
Well, so Islamist
is
crime
higher
is,
than anything else
yes.
because
Well,
certain groups are added in.
Islamists when Islamists shoot up someone or makes the bomb, you
Yes.
know, it's labeled as right wing, which
makes
stupid.
no sense.
Yes.
NASA released the information, so it must be true. There are 4 types of aliens. Was that after they landed on the moon or before they landed on the moon? Just asking for a friend. It was an attempt at humor. I won't try that again. I didn't want to read it out loud. Oh, I like it. No, you're good. You're good. Please humor us. I love it.
Everybody in chat has a good laugh at that. You know,
I know,
it's just we might not want to. The problem is if we read that, someone
it can
might
be clipped.
Yes, it can be clipped because just
and I'm the one reading.
So right after that, someone's going to type in chat !clip and then use that clip. You know. So yeah. So. But yeah, so I think that's the important bits that you can, you know, take from, you know, from setting up a business. And you know, we can talk a little bit maybe tomorrow about just as a general rule inside the premises. You know, we spoke about the kind of government impact on your business. So tomorrow we can talk a little bit about setting up different things and how it works and what you shouldn't spend money on and things like that. Rent versus own and, you know, stuff like that. And we could see where that goes. I mean, it'll be a lot more of an open discussion and experience based because, you know, I can tell you what I experienced, but I think the fundamentals around just what you need to set up a business is quite important. And there's a lot of little things that I don't know that I think is good to share with people. So if you consider it, you know, you can, what's the name? You could go and set up, or at least make a little list for yourself and try and, you know, hit some of the targets better than what, you know, probably most people do or that I did when I started.
Better than what we did.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
if you do better, that is a good thing.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think, you know, learning by your own experience is always the best way to learn. You know, sometimes it's a good thing to just listen to people who's got experience, try and learn from that and make less mistakes. You know, if you can fix less things, you can focus on running your business better. Basically, in a nutshell.
Yeah, less distractions.
Oh, the kids are gonna have good
I
food.
know. I made them all kinds of good food.
So can I? Oh, the big ones are still gonna go in 4
Yeah,
minutes.
sorry, I haven't turned it off for that reason.
I could have taken that over. So
I know I'm
so
slow.
yeah, you know, do some homework and anybody, you know, eat at biltongusa.com. Anybody's welcome to send us an email. I'll help you where I can. I can't promise that I always get back to everybody. I try and do what I can. You know, I also got a bunch of stuff I've got to get to. I've had a few people reach out. I've helped a few people. I've had a few people reach out. I haven't helped them. I had one guy with a very good chili salt, and I kind of lost contact with him. He was very excited, but you know, I got my business I've got to do, so it's very hard for me to help you launch a product when I'm like kind of, you know, focusing on my business.
I did want to read Jamal's comment because I really like this. Watch the videos of the World Cup tour. Watch the videos of the World Cup tour. I'm becoming more patriotic from seeing how much they love the U.S.
Yes.
Isn't that neat? No, they really do. And I get it. There's a lot of really good things here in the States that we take for granted that is not common outside these borders.
Yep. I like Progman's fellow countrymen. Like the one guy was walking around and he says, you know what, man? Our government in the UK has turned us into gays because they've, you know, we've become so docile we don't fight back against them. So yeah, I think some of the Brits here are waking up big time.
I think so.
Big time.
I think so, and that's a good thing, you know. And I agree with you, Sign of Jonah. Frogman is definitely based.
Let me see. What did he say? You know, I'm going to tell you something that I discovered. Eating bacon 100% of the time increases your chances of not self-igniting.
Eating pork significantly reduces chances of spontaneous.
There we go. That's the wording. Thank you. That's the wording I was looking for. Yes.
I had to chuckle at you because you're saying it and it had just popped in, but you were already working
bacon,
on it.
eating pork, significantly, not significantly, 100% reduces chances of spontaneous human combustion. And I said it exactly like that the other day, and I couldn't find the words. Spot on, man. Spot on. It's interesting. Interesting how that works. It's the little bacon in the morning sorts out the problems.
It's interesting. There's things that happens. The British line will roar.
I hope so, dude. I hope so. You know what? It's time we stand up.
Yes.
It's time.
Yes.
It's time.
I see that because of what's been happening here in the States, there's quite a push.
Yes.
Overseas,
no, it's
and
time.
that's good.
It's like,
that's
you know
good.
what?
Start that. Unveil.
Yes.
Unveil, because people have been hiding. So
Yes.
let's unveil. Let's show the ugly truth,
No,
and then get rid of it.
Yes, I have said this categorically on stream. I've said it in real life. I will say it over and over. If you wave a foreign flag, get the fuck out of the US.
Yes.
If you wave a foreign flag, go to that country.
Yes.
If you hang a foreign flag over your home, go away.
Yes.
Okay, I have no time for people that are here that are not patriotic. This is very simple. I am a South African. I was born and raised in South Africa. If tomorrow the US and South Africa go to war, I am fighting with the US against South Africa. I did not come here to come represent South Africa. I am here to represent the USA. If I don't like it, I can fuck off back to that shithole.
Yeah.
Simple. I have no tolerance for that. I have no tolerance for not being patriotic. You left whatever shithole you were in to come to this country because it's better. Okay, now you want to come steal from this country to drag it back like a fucking hamster, filling its cheeks, going back, running back to your little fucking hole. I have no time for that.
No time or tolerance.
It's US, it's America first, or you go away. I have no interest in anything else.
Cam says the only reason the normies are is because we never stopped.
Yes.
Exactly. So Jamal does say, I have a group that is trying to decide if we need a website. I'll send you an email. It's not for product. It's for restoring our republic.
Okay.
Okay. That's,
right. I can try and set up something. Let me put it to you this way. I can set up for you real cheap. Like cheap, like whatever my cost is. And at least it'll be functional and people can go there and you can have something basic. If it's real complicated, I mean, $2,000 is not much to pay for a website, but I can do it for pennies. And there might not be any cost, depending on the level of complexity. But I set up a website for someone to demo the other day, and it took me like an hour, and it was done. So I mean, something like that, we can discuss, and just we got to get a URL. The URL might cost a couple of bucks, whatever. Let me know, There are videos from the South African World Cup. Tourists who is shocked how safe it is. There's no race war in the street. Well, yes, but when you go to the right places, it's like being here. But if you go, the right places are so tiny, it's South Africa has like 100 people per 100,000 murder rate. It's massive. There's a lot of violence in South Africa, but like anywhere, if you go to the right places, okay. But I go online, find me videos of people in South Africa, and then find me a house without walls. Find me a house without walls, without barbed wire, without
window.
Yeah, without burglar proofing in front of windows, and that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
The first 5 years I was here, I felt so insecure because I didn't have a wall in front of my house. Because I literally, when I was like 6, we built a wall in front of our house, and everybody built walls in front of their house, in front of their houses. And we've been living
in front of their houses, like property line.
Like property,
on
not
the
just
property.
on the property
where
line.
Where the sidewalk is, you have a wall.
Yes,
not
so
a fence.
Yes,
you
a
have
wall.
A brick wall.
Or steel fencing or like serious stuff. So everywhere you go, it's blocked up. It's unless it's like a business and it's a little open. But if it's a private, even most businesses have it now. Like steel, what they call palisade security fencing, and so everywhere is locked up. Behind walls, behind barbed wire, and like it's not like that because people like privacy.
Yes.
And if you secure yours a little more than the next guy, maybe they rob him and not you.
Yes.
Okay, so, we are still busy, young man. So let's get the last comments, and then we probably are gonna go switch a light
Yes,
on.
I think so. We are open. I don't know if he was meaning here in the States that people were surprised.
Oh,
that,
yes. No, the
there's
States
no race
is,
war.
is
Because that's what they're told. They
yes.
are told
No, the
there
States
is
is
a
brilliant, but
race
South
war.
Africa is a fucking big problem, man.
Yes, yes. Cam just says everywhere in Gary, Indiana, you are in trouble.
Yes.
That's a shame.
Yes.
That's a shame. It's the same. I would say Dallas.
Yes.
When you drive around Dallas, you keep those windows up and you don't.
Yeah, the only
glare.
reason here there's not more crime is because people are armed.
Yeah.
The only reason that there's not more murder and more crime is because people are armed. And
Yeah.
you fuck around, like, you know, the illegal that jumped the fence found out in Garland, you know, he tried to hijack a guy's car and the guy fucking shot him dead, as he should.
Yeah.
You know, but you do that in South Africa and you end up in prison, you know, as you shouldn't.
Yes.
But
you should
you
be
do.
able to protect yourself.
Yeah,
and
you
your family
can't.
and
There's
your
no
property.
private property
Yeah.
rights in South Africa
Yeah.
because it's a bunch of
That's
fucking
the
communists.
other thing. That's not a right given to anyone anywhere but the United States.
Well, I won't say anywhere because I don't know
Okay.
everybody's constitutions, but it's not something that's abundant
No,
as
and
it is in the
the
US.
places we've dealt with, that's not a.
Yes,
That's not a.
yes. Like
something.
like Canada, you should, you know, like take extra care not to like hurt the guy.
Yes.
You know, it's
Yes.
stupid. Like if you know, I think Texas is the one state where you can actually protect your personal property with deadly force, like a necklace. If a guy fucks around with you and he takes your shit, you should be able to shoot him dead.
Yes.
Like, and then that problem is gone. Like that guy won't do it to anybody else. Problem solved. You got to give us a minute, boy. We're almost done. Give us a minute. No, don't show me signs. Just stand right there and don't move. All right, we're almost done. Ears.
No, they don't work. They don't work.
Ornaments.
But yes, Jamal, we completely agree. Keep this incredible place incredible.
Yes. No, the US is absolutely phenomenal.
And the people who do not value what you have here, you need to get in your car and just drive.
Yes.
You need to see this country is phenomenal. We have deserts, we have mountains, we have ocean fronts, we have so many different incredible views that people take for granted, but it's all here.
Yes.
Like no people don't even realize.
Who was it? Oh, so there was some dude, he was running like a farm, but it's one of the security villages, walls and all kinds of stuff. So he was running that. They found him dead. Apparently there was a heiress from Germany, and then they found her dead the next day. Because someone tried to rob the place, apparently.
Yeah.
And they just like shot these people dead or whatever they did with them, you know. But it's like that's what happens in South Africa. It's like not a good place. Not a good place.
Same thing. Yeah. Every Western country ought to have rolled out the Second Amendment at the end of World War II. Never again and all that.
Yes, agreed.
Exactly. Exactly. But enough politics for
Yes.
today.
Well, we're not right or left wing politics.
No, I know.
These are just humanity facts. Because you know the problem is it's us small fry on the ground that suffer because of, you know, stupid things politicians do.
Yes. Yes,
you know, and our children.
It's genius that the tourists aren't being flown into the major metro areas, so they have to drive and see a little of the rural life. Yes. No, I think that helps, actually. That helps,
Yeah.
you know, if they get exposure to what's going on, like in the small towns in the United States, you'll see a lot, and there's a lot of really good people in those small towns.
Oh, yeah.
Like really, really good people.
I have found Americans to be very friendly and very nice to like business and foreigners, and you know, like really nice. I mean, you get the odd, you know, nonsense, but generally, as a general manner of speaking, you know.
Well, I think it's funny. People have asked us and very concerned, but there's not enough business out there, or there's not, you know, diversity out there where we have moved. It's like we have had nothing but a good experience. I think with our transition.
And also, I mean, our online is absolutely phenomenal. So you know, you guys, support you guys. Talking about support, BuiltonUSA.com.
Code RRR, that's 3 R's in a row for 10% off of your bolt-on purchases. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to find somebody to raid.
Yes.
I gotta be self-sufficient today.
And then maybe Ben, maybe raid him if he's
on.
I think he was, if he's still on. Yeah, and then like, repost, share, follow our channel. Ben
There we
still
go.
alive? Is he still alive? All right.
Did
well,
you say all of the correct things that
I
we
did.
needed
I
to
have
say?
to think
Did you?
about it.
I
you
know it's harder than we want to
Yes.
admit. All right, I have
Yeah.
to come closer. I do not have a keyboard where I am at.
All right. So we'll rate Ben's stream, and we will see you guys tomorrow for a little bit of a discussion around building out a a shop.
Yeah. And Jody, not Jody. Sorry.
Jamal Brogman,
No. Why am I blanking? Now I'm blanking. Hang on.
Sign of Jonah.
Sign of Jonah. Do not take offense. I just said that was an intense comment. I liked it.
Yes.
We
yes.
like you. So please, we
no,
like
it's
you.
Not. It's not. It's just there's certain things that I want to say.
Once I say, I cannot bring it
well,
back.
the problem is someone might find it and flip it, and down the line, like, look at this business. This is what they say.
We like you. That we really appreciate
Yes.
you. In case you didn't know.
Yes, that's why I made the offer the other day.
That's true. That's true. All right, guys. Have a wonderful Saturday. Be productive. Do something awesome.
Cheers.